When it comes to autistic individuals, many people think that we just don't have empathy because our emotional responses can come across as different or strange, or just they look different as to what neurotypicals are used to seeing from their other peers. I'll give a personal example. I feel like sometimes maybe I can come across as uncaring, maybe with my coworkers, in regards to they invite me to eat lunch with them, and I just prefer to eat in my car because I need that time to recuperate, and I need it like I need air, but they don't understand that. To them, it is relaxing to get together and eat lunch. To me, it's a different experience than what they experience. Here's the thing, autistic people really do experience empathy, just in a different way. That's why we're going to talk about two different kinds of empathy, cognitive and emotional. So here's what cognitive empathy is. It is understanding what someone else is feeling. Emotional empathy, on the other hand, is feeling what someone else is feeling. Autistic individuals have challenges with cognitive empathy because, we have a hard time understanding social cues, or reading body language of other people, or understanding other people's perspectives in general. Emotional empathy, however, feeling strong emotions in response to other people's feelings, it's often heightened in autistic people. Let me give you a personal example. I work with seniors, if you don't know, in a facility. I experienced this exact concept of emotional empathy. There was a resident that passed away, and she had two best friends. I went in the room of the first best friend, and as soon as I walked in the room, I felt the emotion of overwhelm, and I felt what she was feeling, crying, and the sadness, and it was just, I could feel it as soon as I walked in her room, whereas I didn't feel that before I walked in. And I broke down and cried just like the lady was crying. Felt like I experienced what she was feeling, even though I wasn't feeling it in that way. So then I walked a couple doors down to the next room where her other best friend was. This lady was just sitting calmly in the chair and just talked to me about the situation. And I didn't experience any need to cry or any overwhelm or any need for tears. It was two different experiences within 10 minutes of each other. And that was the first time I recognized, I think I feel what other people feel, which is a different type of empathy. People might think we do not show empathy because they're telling us about a situation and our face is not reacting in the way they feel it should. Maybe we even have a little smile on our face. We're not doing it to be mean. We are just focused on masking and not really listening maybe to what they're saying, or not aware of what our face is showing that doesn't line up with what they're trying to tell us. And we don't mean it that way. I've caught myself having a smile on my face when someone told me sad news, and realizing I had to take that smile away and change the expression on my face to match what they were talking about. It does not mean we do not feel empathy. We just process our emotions differently, or we can feel overwhelmed in this situation and not know how to respond back to the person. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the thought processes of the autistic person here. As you know, autistic and neurotypical thought processes, they're different. A 2016 study revealed that autistic people might actually be better at logical thinking and rational thinking versus intuition. This might affect how we read the emotions of other people. Of course, it makes sense. We are logical thinkers, right? I know I am. Researchers found that autistic people have experienced more internal monologues and greater awareness of their surroundings than neurotypical people. Somebody might be having a conversation with you and all you can think about is the details you're noticing around in the room. Maybe you're just noticing what's going on around you and you can't focus on what they're saying. So autistic empathy is unique. It can manifest in intense compassion or concern, but it might not always align with neurotypical expectations. If I didn't care about people, I wouldn't be able to do the job I do, where I work with seniors and I have to show love and compassion for them and respect. We just might come across as not very empathetic if we don't give someone a hug when they give us bad news. You may not feel the desire to give a hug. Maybe you don't like hugs or touching, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you don't care. But in that hard situation, we might show we care in other ways, like maybe sending food to someone who's sick or sending a letter in the mail. There are other ways that we show empathy or can show empathy to others. It's just essential to remember that empathy isn't a one-size-fits-all, and recognizing that autistic people may experience empathy in a different way. It really helps us to appreciate the differences that autistic people have, and knowing that we see the details of the situation and we see things in a different way, and that's okay. And other people should respect those differences and try to understand them. Research from 2019 suggests that autistic people might sometimes be incorrectly judged as lacking empathy because we don't follow the same social norms and rules. But many of these social norms and rules were created by neurotypical people, and that doesn't work for us. So what can we do? People need to educate themselves more about autism and about how autistic people feel in general, especially if you have someone in your life that doesn't understand autism. You can try to talk to them about it. You can show them YouTube videos that explain maybe what you want to say. I've done that before with my family. You can give them articles and things that resonate with you if you want them to understand your unique perspective and how you feel. So thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out these videos. If you enjoy content about adults with autism, I put out weekly videos. Would love to have you as part of this growing community, and I would love to hear your comments on today's topic. How does empathy affect you? Can you relate to that? And what did I leave out? All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.